Lanco Teint Particulier custom-made MakeupImagine, a machine that can create an infinite number of customized foundations. Actually, you don't have to. Lanco's already made it happen. The method to the magic: it knows your skin tone better than you do. A color matching tool scans your skin and sends the data to a tablet with software containing over 20,000 skin tones to find your exact shade. It spits out a personal recipe. An algorithm determines how many pumps of white jello, red, and black pigments your foundation needs. The machine mixes those shades with a moisturizing base. The amount varies depending on the coverage you want. It works with medical precision. Your blend squirts into a bottle that's hit above through peristaltic pumps, the kind used in artificial hearts. They dispense just the right amount of pigment without any air, which can oxidize color or cause bacteria to grow. The bottle is shaken and labeled with an ID so you can bring it to a Lanco counter for a refill. The machine is currently at 11 Nordstrom locations. The natural finish foundation is long-wearing, fragrance-free, and, most important of all, it matched all our testers' skin tones exactly. Read the review. Lanco Teint Particulier custom-made makeup, $80. Even after more than 20 years as an executive in the beauty world, Francine Gingras had never asked herself a very simple question: why can't fragrance last longer? But when her then 21-year-old daughter posed it to her one day in the kitchen, Gingras had a light bulb moment. She quit her job to team up with her daughter, Josephine Sullivan, and a fragrance house. Their mission: develop a perfume setting spray that would make a scent last on the skin for longer than the average 4 hours, give or take. But they had to admit that none of the ingredients in perfumery would get the job done. We needed to change direction and look for a new way, says Gingras. She and her daughter went back to the drawing board and, working with chemists familiar with skincare, found inspiration in part from the way deodorant forms a film on the skin. They created a sprayable, fragrance-free mesh made of oils and acrylate copolymers that acts like netting over fragrance, trapping it against the skin and slowing its evaporation rate. In company-sponsored clinical trials, the spray made eau de parfum last for at least 12 hours. This film anchors fragrance molecules to the skin without disturbing the perfume's chemistry, says cosmetic chemist Nikita Wilson. That's very impressive. Read the review. $34. Until our nail polish can hail a carbon order tacos, well, consider this the smartphone of gel manicures, a next-generation design that's easier to use than anything that came before it. It's got a wider brush than most other polishes, so it covers your whole nail in 2 strokes, says manicurist Holly Falcon. And it's curved to fit the cuticle line, so you don't have to pivot the brush. But that's not even the breakthrough part, because the brush's stem is twisted like a spiral staircase. Just the right amount of polish travels onto your nail. You won't get a big sloppy drop, just an even and smooth application. It makes it so much easier to paint with your non-dominant hand. Even our least coordinated editors got flawless, shiny results at home. Read the review. $18.50. Dyson Supersonic Hairdryer. It's crazy fast, maneuvers beautifully, and costs $71 million to create. We're talking about a blow dryer, not an Aston Martin motor. It's 3 times lighter, 6 times faster on average, and 1/3 the size of a regular blow dryer motor, and it's in the handle instead of the head. Other dryers are top heavy, says hairstylist Matt Fugate. You can flip, shake, and blast this one with more freedom. Impeller. The thing that helps create airflow was designed by acoustic engineers. It's faster than the speed of sound, so you hear only the softest whooshing. It pushes out 13 liters of air per second, and dried one tester's thick hair in 4 minutes, 17 seconds flat. Nozzle. It's magnetic, so it pops on and off easily. And if you touch your blow dryer to your brush, a common mistake, your hair won't fry. The hot air coming out is sandwiched between sheets of cold air. Thermistor. Other than sounding fancy, it measures the air temperature 20 times per second to make sure it never exceeds 302 degrees. Dryers that get hotter than that, and most do, dull and damage hair quickly, says cosmetic chemist Jim Hammer. Read the review. Dyson Supersonic Hairdryer, $399. Skin Better Science Alpha A Overnight Cream. Every dermatologist will tell you retinoids and alpha-hydroxy acids like lactic acid are 2 of the best anti-agers. What they will also share, they can be irritating, so you can't use them together, says Ellen Marmer, a dermatologist in New York City. But it's a shame to have to choose just one because they do different things. Retinoids reduce sunspots and wrinkles. Lactic acid improves skin tone and texture. If you could combine them, you could create a superhero wrinkle-busting, glow-making ingredient. Skin Better Science researchers devoted several years to finding a way. They put retinoids and lactic acid in their own protective bubbles and strapped them together to create a molecule they called ethyl-lactyl retinoate. The ingredients inside are released only upon contact with the water in your skin. In company-sponsored clinical trials, the formula was just as effective at smoothing lines and fading discoloration as prescription tretinoin without causing irritation. Lactic acid, a humectant and mild chemical peel, enhances the wrinkle reduction that comes from retinol, says Hammer. You get a synergistic effect. Read the review. Skin Better Science Alpha A Overnight Cream, $110. Coloring your hair at home used to involve cancelling your plans, crossing your fingers, and making a big ol' mess. Now you can use peroxide to change your color in the shower, in 5 minutes. John Frieda's new dyes go on just like shampoo. They won't give you the drastic change you can get with a traditional kit, but they're a whole lot easier to use. Pop the top off the dual-chambered tube. The ingredients need to be kept separate until you use them, or they oxidize and become less effective, and loaf peroxide and a high pH activator combine to bleach your hair, smooth it through and rinse after 5 minutes. The peroxide is gentler than what you find in typical dyes, but you'll still go a full shade lighter, says Hammer. Right now the lightening formula comes in only 2 tones, one for ashy brunettes, brilliant brunette, visibly brighter, and one for blondes, sheer blonde, go blonder. If your hair is dark brown, the brunette shade isn't concentrated enough to make a difference, says Wilson. If you have light brown or blonde highlights, though, they'll look fresher. Dirty blondes and light brunette will be very happy. And all of our testers most definitely were. Read the review. John Frieda in Shower Lightening Treatment, $5.82. Rimmel London Wonderlash Volume Colorist Mascara. This mascara tints lashes even after you take it off and uses, wait for it, food coloring. It's kind of like dyeing your hair with Kool-Aid as a kid. You get a temporary stain, says Hammer. Only this time around, the dye comes out black, not radioactive pink. The tint builds gradually over the course of 2 weeks, fades after a few days if you stop wearing the mascara, and shows up best on blondes. It's a cool idea since food-grade dyes are safe to use around the eyes. Regular hair color, for the record, is absolutely not. Read the review. Rimmel London Wonderlash Volume Colorist Mascara, $7.99. Simple Human Sensor Mirror Pro Lighted Mirror has gotten a long overdue upgrade. LED bulbs, they show exactly how you and your foundation, and your neglected brows will look in daylight. It sounds simple, but mimicking daylight is a big deal. Other lighted mirrors, even most light bulbs, don't project the full spectrum of natural light that makes up daylight, so they can wash you out, says CNET executive editor Sharon Profis. And you'll go too heavy on the bronzer and blush to compensate. Smart technology say you always go to the same bar, and you like sitting in a particular candlelit corner, and you take a picture of that corner. This mirror can pick up that image from your phone and then transform itself into a mini version of that romantic, dark bar. So you'll see exactly how your smudgy liner will look in the candlelight. Crystal clear glass. The glass on this mirror is also used in solar panels, which have to be pristine in their transparency. You'll see the most accurate possible image of yourself staring back at you. Read the review. Simple Human Sensor Mirror Pro, $400. False lashes haven't evolved much since the 1920s, they still require a steady hand and a tube of glue. That's finally changing. These strips are magnetized. Put one above your lashes, one below, and, well, you're familiar with the concept of magnets. You can use these on only the outer corners of your top lashes. They come in half strips and range from wispy to dramatic. Once they're in place, the magnetic lashes look fluttery until you slide them off. A steady hand is still required, but the strips never yank out your lashes or leave you plucking dried glue off your lids. Read the review. $69. SkinCeuticals Triple Lipid Restore 242. Technically, yes, this is a moisturizer. But confusing it with any old cream, that's like mistaking Dom Perignon for motor oil. Unlike every moisturizer before it, this formula has the exact same lipid ratio as young skin. Lipids are the good fats in your skin that make it luminous and plump. We lose them with age, causing dryness, dullness, and even wrinkles. So SkinCeuticals researchers devoted nearly 3 years to finding the magical balance of youth, 4% cholesterol to 2% each ceramides and fatty acids. We've seen these particular lipids in formulas before, but with this ratio, the moisturizer mimics normal, a young skin as accurately as possible, says Wilson. That optimizes the amount of barrier repair you can get. In other words, skin acts younger. Participants in company-sponsored studies had a significant improvement in skin clarity, radiance, and laxity after 8 weeks, and looks lit. Cheers to that. Read the review. SkinCeuticals Triple Lipid Restore $242, $125. Living Proof Full Dry Volume Blast Insulating Foam, which has got to be the least sexy of all the foams, was an inspiration behind this volumizer. We wanted the hair equivalent, says Lauren Trahan, a senior chemist at Living Proof. Something that's light and starts small but gets huge. If you didn't just giggle, congrats, you're a grown-up since you're not insulating your hair anytime soon. Trahan found expandable textured aerospheres, hollow balls made of polymers. Before they go into the formula, the balls are heated and puffed up to become bigger than standard volumizing ingredients, and lighter, too. In fact, they're lighter than air. They'd float away if they weren't bound to the hair with a polymer. Other volumizers are much heavier, so they work for only a few hours and can make hair crunchy, says Wilson. But spray this volumizer all over dry hair and it lasts. You won't feel it in your hair, but you'll definitely see a difference. The ingredients create space between each strand of hair, so you'll look like you have twice as much. Read the review. Living Proof Full Dry Volume Blast, $29. Smashbox Instamatte Lipstick Transformer. We've probably told you 3 or 4 or, fine, 40 times about makeup artists' favorite trick for mattifying lipstick. It involves loose powder, frequent touch-ups, and inevitably parched lips. Now we can finally tell you about a better way. Chemists at Smashbox created a clear gel that you tap over any lipstick, creating a filter of silicone polymers. They reflect light and absorb oils from the lipstick underneath to take away its shine, says Wilson. Your lips are matte instantly, and actually softer than they started out. The silicones bind to the lipstick and make it wear longer without any feathering or cracking. Read the review. Smashbox Instamatte Lipstick Transformer, $21. We're over the moon for these 16 formulas that coddle and smooth and protect every last inch of our skin. Hair, skin, and makeup wonders as love for what's in them as for what's not. We mouthed off for months to find these flawless finishes and perfect pigments. Brighter, smoother, healthier, beautifuler. Meet the bottled superstars that get you there. These are officially the most visionary shadows, liners, mascaras, and brow things. Yes, there are now several. Take a deep breath. We're about to share the most sublime fragrances ever to waft into our lives. These serums and shiny things are worth more than just bragging rights. An artist is only as good as her tools. Have at it. Frida Kahlo, Salvador Dali.